Hello, Robin. It's Thursday. I'm in Fernie now. This is the hostel. It's quite nice. And I have had a strange week. Boy, have I got a story for you. So, the previous hostel in Calgary, I've been staying there for a week. There was this one, old guy, sort of 45-ish, who's staying there. Really loud Canadian guy. He's always, striking up conversations in the kitchen, asking me how I am, being friendly, that sort of thing. He's a bit weird, but he's nice and friendly and all that stuff. And on my last day there, we're chatting in the kitchen, just talking about stuff. I mentioned it's my last day, and he's like, "Oh no, I wanted to take you out to the pub." And he said that, and I kind of thought, you know what? This guy has been nice to me. He's been friendly and everything. This year's meant to be about trying new things. I'm like, sure, I'll go to the bar with this guy. I'll go out for a drink, whatever. What's the worst that could happen? He'll talk to me for a while, and then I'll head home and go back the next day. Sure. So I say this, and he's really excited by this. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'll find somewhere to go. I'll pick a bar." And he gets this other guy involved, another kind of old guy. He said that his parents won the lottery in the 90s and they just pay for him to go wherever he wants, which is a little bit weird, but, well, I think that's probably true from what he was saying. Weird guy. So anyway, these two fairly old dudes are looking at pubs to go to, and then the guy at the desk in the hostel sort of comes over to me while they're not near and asks, are these two guys bothering you? Should I tell them to leave you alone? I'm like, no, it's okay. We'll, it'll be good. I'll go to the pub. But that did kind of make me question my decision a bit. I was like, maybe, do I really want to do this? But, whatever, I'll go for it. So, he keeps, suggesting these pubs, and I look at where they are, and they're quite far away. I sort of suggest, maybe we should go somewhere we can walk to. He was like, oh yeah, we'll go somewhere we can walk to. He picks a bar, and we leave the hostel. We step outside the hostel, and he says, "Oh great, the Uber's here." So I'm like, okay, we get in this Uber, and we drive through Calgary, we sort of going through it, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I recognize this. I can walk home from here. Yeah, I can get back from here, whatever. And this car just keeps going, out into the suburbs. I'm like, oh, all right. And these guys are now quite drunk. They're chatting some weird stuff. This other guy has revealed that he's quite into cocaine. And I'm like, oh, okay. Just being taken away from the hostel in a car with these two guys. So this goes on for a while. The car drives for 15 minutes, and then it stops. We get out. The guy says oh, it's this way. We walk that way. So we get outside this bar, and it doesn't look like any kind of bar I've ever seen. It's pretty weird. There's no windows, and there's loud music coming from inside. So I'm worried that these guys have taken me to a club, right? They've taken me to a nightclub. I don't want to go clubbing with these two dudes, but I'm kind of in it now. So I follow them in. Anyway, we get inside. It turns out this is a strip club, right? These two old dudes have taken me to a strip club. And I was as uncomfortable as you would imagine I was. so weird. We get in, there's poles everywhere. This guy buys me a drink, so I'm like, okay, I'll stay. I'll stay until I finish my drink, I guess. Like, so weird. The whole way there, I was just like, how did I get into this situation? Also, little edit here because I forgot to say it. The guy tried to buy me a lap dance. Like the first dancer did their routine and then like came down to talk to us, and he was like, "Oh, she likes you. She likes you. I'll buy you a lap dance." I'm like, "No, no, thank you." He's like so insistent. He's like, "Yeah, yeah, I'll pay for it." I'm like, "No, seriously, like get one for yourself. It's all right." He's like, "No, no, no." He's like, have one. I'm like, "No, honestly, thank you, but no, I don't want a lap dance." He didn't seem to think that was a particularly normal thing to do, but yeah, I just forgot to say that the first time. Back to the video. Uh, so yeah, that's the story of how some random Canadian guys took me to a strip club. Not something that I thought I would be doing. It was weird. One of the guys, he went to the toilet a lot. I think it might have been just doing drugs in them. And then they both just disappeared eventually, so I disappeared. Like, they just kind of left for what I decided was long enough that I could just leave. And then I did. I had to take the train back. It was so surreal. I was just like, how did this happen? So that was what I did on Sunday. It's like, how did I get into this situation? Anyway, day after that, I mercifully did not see either of the two guys at breakfast. They were hanging, I guess. And I got my lift to Fernie. So it was with Darren on Pop a Ride, which is like a ride-sharing app. I went to the meetup point. It was so hard to get there. I had so much stuff. I had to take a bus and then walk 20 minutes. And there was snow, so I'm like pulling my suitcase. And it's not wheeling, it's just dragging through the snow. It was so hard. But I made it there eventually. And Darren turns up in not a car, but it's a truck, like a lorry, like an articulated, huge, like Tesco lorry sort of thing. Like it was a Safeway lorry. I just didn't realize that was what this was going to be. I was like, oh, he's a lorry driver, but it makes sense because I wasn't sure I was gonna fit all my stuff in his car anyway. But there you go. He was an interesting dude. I've never been in a lorry before. That was kind of fun. The seats had like this air system in them, so you could like raise them up and lower them down. Darren was a strange guy. Definitely, he was talkative and like interesting conversation, but he just kind of slipped in and out of talking about some weird things. Like, we'd be going for a while and he just seemed like a totally normal dude, and then like the first thing was a bit weird that he was talking about Trump a lot, and it wasn't explicitly positive, so I wasn't really sure what to think about it. It was just like he was just talking about him a lot, and like some of the things that make him maybe a good candidate for president. I was just kind of like, that's weird. I've never heard that before, but whatever. And like the conversation moved on to other things, and we were like talking about his kids, all this, whatever. And we come to this mountain where there was a landslide a few years ago, like a whole big side of the mountain fell out. And we drive past it and he tells me about it, like the landslide and like all the destruction that it caused or whatever. It's like interesting stuff. And then he's just like, yeah, but it doesn't really add up if you ask me. Like, if you drop a rock from the top of this mountain, it's not gonna leave debris as far away as what has appeared. So if you ask me, an alien spaceship came in, hit the top of the mountain, and collapsed it that way. And I'm like, okay, I don't really know if he's joking, but like the weird things leading up to this point made me think that maybe he's not joking. Then he asked me if I'm a flat earther. I say no. And he's like, oh, me neither. It would be crazy to think they're a flat earther. You have to deny so much evidence. Like, they're just ignoring everything. It's really stupid. I'm like, oh yeah, I totally agree. How could you think that? Then he's like, but we didn't go to the moon though. So he doesn't believe that we went to the moon. I wasn't very preachy about my views on that, but I did ask him a few questions, and yeah, he came out with some weird stuff. Yeah, just a funny guy. But anyway, he got me to Fernie. The trip was very pleasant, and it was very windy. I thought the truck was going to blow over. And now I'm in Fernie. Here we are. You meet some characters. What have I got to actually update you about things that I've been doing? My ski instructor course was good. There was a lot of like technical skiing, sort of practicing, teaching, like pretending we were students and doing that sort of thing. I feel like I know more about the right way to ski now. The instructor dude was good. There was like a few instructors. We were split into smaller groups, and we'd have an instructor each. And I kind of saw them lined up, and there's like some people, and then this one dude who's like super loud, 6'6" guy, and I'm like, oh, I'm that dude, the dude with the beard, and that was the guy I got. So that was good. He was good. He explained things well. In Fernie now, I've spent 2 nights in the hostel. It's nice. I'm in a long-term room with other long-term people, which works out quite nicely. People have been chatting to me. Everyone's really friendly. Last night, I went to a pool tournament. I won the first round. I should have won the second round, but I flubbed the black. Then I just stayed up until 1 in the morning talking to these 2 guys. One went to bed earlier than the other. The guy that stayed up the whole time was, now that I think about it, so strangely similar to me. He's from Hertfordshire. He did maths as a degree. He did karate through about the same ages as I do, the same style. It's weird. And we ended up talking about philosophy and stuff for ages. That was good. I feel more enlightened than I did earlier. It was one of those things, like the time kind of got away from us and we're just chatting. It was good. So yeah, that's me. I'm kind of in the process of looking for jobs. There's definitely jobs around town. There's like all the sort of, like the 7-Eleven, all the supermarkets and stuff, they're all hiring. So worst case scenario, I shouldn't have any trouble getting one of those. But it would be nice to get a job at the Hill, because then I get a ski pass for free. That's probably mostly what I have to say. It's really pretty here. The town is totally surrounded by mountains. There is snow, not a ton of snow down here, but I think there's about a meter base up the mountains, so that's good. Yeah, it's. I'll send you some pictures when the sun comes out, because it's meant to be clear next week and cold. There's going to be a high of -7, bruh. But yeah, I will talk to you then. So until next time, stay old.